Hey, welcome back to another weekly wealth walk. I want to share with you some progress updates with me and something I feel is missing. Like most people overlook this. It's something I focus on pretty intently. And I was like, I realize this is something I do. You guys should probably know about it too. Stay tuned. Hey, Jerry Fetta here, CEO of Philanthro Wealth. So I do these weekly wealth walks to show you the progress that I am making with my finances, right? There's a lot of gurus out there. There's a lot of people that are, saying they do things and then maybe they don't do them. And sometimes I even get attacked for doing these because it's like, oh, you're doing this, blah, 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 right? I still do them because the transparency matters, right? And I think that that's something that a lot of my following appreciates is they're like, this is something this guy actually does, right? And if it wasn't for people in my life who were willing to do that, to show me behind the scenes, what are they doing? What does it actually look like, right? Then I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. Because you can only get so much with what's being presented. You've got to, at some point, see what's under the hood, what's behind the scenes, and that's the purpose of these. So here is something I want to talk to you about, right? There's a lot of focus on what am I trading my money for, right? In terms of investing, like when you study most people who are into the financial education, wealth building, training space, there's a lot of like, oh, I'm doing this flip, or I'm doing real estate, I'm doing rentals, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and here's what I trade my money for, or here's what I don't trade my money for. And that's important, like for sure you need to look at that, but I feel like it's, again, focused on often because of the things they're offering, right? So somebody who sells flipping programs is gonna talk to you about all the flips they're doing, right? Somebody who sells real estate wholesaling is going to talk to you about all of the wholesaling that they do. Somebody who sells crypto programs, they're going to tell you about all of the latest and greatest crypto opportunities. And not to say that I don't sell things, that I don't endorse things, that I don't, make money off of stuff. I absolutely do. That's what business is about, right? If you can help people and you can get paid for it, that's awesome. And I think though, because of that, the stuff that's done behind the scenes to even be there in the first place gets overlooked. Right? Like, how did you get the money to do the real estate in the first place? Right? What are you doing there? Because some of that was what I needed, and some of that might be what you need, right? So with what I do with my money, I've done a lot on that. Like, okay, here is, the sacred account. Here is seller finance real estate. Here is precious metals, whatever it might be. And so right now what I'm doing is I am bolstering my active income. And everything I do, very simple, goes into this thing called the triangle of wealth. This is such a basic financial tool. I've been teaching about this for years because I was like, nobody talks about this. It's always invest and passive income and this and that. And it's like, okay, what about this basic like triangle of wealth, right? And the triangle of wealth, if you've not seen it before, works like this, right? So it is a triangle, of course. You've got earn, you have save, and invest. Right? And I think a lot of times we hear invest and the thing we trade our money for, and we're like, oh, that's how you get rich, right? And my first experience looked like this. It was like, to invest, I need $50,000, right? So I earned and I saved and I pushed and I did all this stuff and I got my $50,000 and I invested it. And I earned 12%, which means I made $500 a month. Okay, now, 12%, pretty good. When you look at it in terms of like, what are other people getting in bank accounts, long range in the stock market after fees and volatility, 12% is a good number. I was like, okay, 12%, I'm happy with that. But for me, I thought 12% and I was like, I'm building wealth and I'm getting rich. That must be a lot of money. And no, it was $500 a month. Okay, that's 100 months before I get my $50,000 back. What that means is if I'm just relying on that, that's like a decade of waiting. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video. Right? It's almost a decade of waiting and, finally my investments have maybe enough that I could do it a second time. Right? And you can't build wealth that way. That's going to take so long. And so part of what I started to really confront was like, okay, investing is what I trade my money for. Saving is what I trade my money for, right? I put my money in a sacred account. I spend less on goods and services, therefore I can save more. But the very first part of this equation is, what do I trade for my money? What do I trade for my money? right? And when you're starting in this, the biggest myth and probably the biggest mistake that I see people make in the financial space, the wealth space, the real estate space, all this stuff is the idea that trading time for money is bad, right? What are you going to trade for money? Like you can't just be osmosis like, oh, I have $50,000 now, right? You had to trade something to get the money in the first place. So this idea of bosses and jobs and work, it's stupid. I think it is gurus preying on people's laziness to sell them courses. That's honestly what I think it is. And it's to the point that in my material, I'm working on getting rid of the word passive income. You guys might hear me say it. Please correct me in the comments. We're correcting it to residual income. It's money that pays you today and tomorrow for something you did yesterday. Sometimes it's passive, sometimes it's not, right? So when you are earning your income, like you have your residual income from your investing, right? But you're also going to have active non-residual income. Like how do you get the money that you invest in the first place? And I think that that's the conversation that too many of us don't know, we're not thinking about, and we're trying to find a way out of with the passive income, right? So the residual income is not the thing that gets you wealthy. Okay, it's the thing that scales you there, but it's the active that gets you the money in the first place. And so if I am trying to escape active income, I don't want to trade anything, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this time for money, I don't want to learn how to sell, I don't want to run a business. And it's like, what do you want to do? You want someone to just walk up to you and hand you money so you can invest it with the education you don't have because you're too freaking lazy to study, and then expect that, voila, now I'm going to have passive income and real estate and this and that. No, and even when you get into that stuff, it's going to be work. So right now what I'm doing is I'm bolstering my active income sources. And there's a couple of ways that I go about this. So first thing is volume. Can I do more of what I already do? Can I do more of what I already do? You don't need anything to do this other than just do the work faster or work more quantity of hours or whatever it is. If you're a salesperson, make more sales. If you are an hourly worker, work more hours, right? Can I increase the volume? And if I can, I'm gonna. But here's the problem. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that if I disagree with the idea that work is, I think it's this bad thing and you shouldn't trade time for money. Then I'm going to be like, wait, so I want to have more money for investing. I want residual income. I want financial independence, but I don't want to work, right? So your purpose for all of this can't be that you don't want to work, because I'm telling you the first thing that I do is I work more. I'm just being honest with you. Like I put in more time, I put in more repetition, I put in more volume of whatever it is that I do to generate income. Okay. Now the second thing that you can do once you've done this is not like skip one, pick the menu. No. If you can do more volume, do more volume. I'm not saying do it forever, but I'm saying for a season, because you're going to go through seasons. For me, the last year was a season of live lower than I've ever lived before, put my head down and grind and rebuild, right? Rebuild and get back to where I need to be at. That's what I was doing the last, year and a half, 2 years, right? And if you really focus, yeah, you can do it in a year and a half or 2 years, but not if the entire time you're like, work is bad, I want to avoid it, and all this stuff. So do the volume first. Next is quality. Okay, can I do better? Can I improve the quality of what I do to generate more income? And you improve quality by investing in your knowledge and your skills, right? So if I'm a construction worker, for example, and I get more knowledge and I get promoted up and I now get paid more per hour or a higher salary, that's higher quality. I'm not necessarily working more hours or doing more construction. I've improved the quality of how I earn my income, right? And I was talking to, my stepson, Sammy, about this. He's cleaning cars for money now, right? So he's 13, and so he can make money cleaning our cars, and we're trying to teach him this so he can start doing this with neighbors. He can go to their houses and clean their cars. And so he's earning his money, and this is what I was teaching him, and I was like, this is what people need to hear. This is what you guys need to know. He's earning his $20, right? He gets the $20, and all of a sudden it's like, I can get candy, I can get a new pocket knife, I can get a flashlight, he's very into outdoor stuff and food. So he blows his wad in like the first week. All of the money is gone. And so I'm talking to him and I'm like, hey, do you realize that if you can improve the volume of what you do, right? Like you can now wash 2 cars, your mom's car also, right? That's going to make you more money. So instead of just one car, every couple of weeks, it's now my car, and then next week is mom's car. Now my car, and next week is the mom car. So he's 10, 15, 20 bucks every time he does it. If he's doing a car a week now between the two vehicles every other week, and we don't have to go to the car wash, it saves us some money. He gets more volume, right? So he starts doing that. And then the other part is the quality. So it's like, hey, instead of spending all the money that you make, right, and just blowing your wad on candy and pocket knives, okay, what if you were to invest in a handheld vacuum? Because right now you don't vacuum, right? And what if you could vacuum? And what if when you vacuum, you could charge an extra $5, right? Quality. He's improving the quality of his work. I can now do new things with new skill sets. I'm being promoted up into a new level of pay because I have more skills. Okay, so volume, quality. The third thing is network. Who do you know? Okay, now I've been doing volume and quality on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off for years. And so in 2024, I started to realize I don't have enough partners. I don't have enough people that I am connected with and partnered with. Like, Wealth Dynamics, it was my company. We ran everything internal, and it was like, great, but you could kind of become a little bit isolated. How can I work with others? And so we started doing that with the company. How do we partner up with more people? And so now I've got many partners. I continue to add partners. And the reason why is I'm growing my network. Who do I know? And so just like with the car example, right, he just knows me and his mom right now. We are the people he knows that drive cars that he can clean. But now we live in a neighborhood and the neighbors have cars. So if on our cars, he's already improved his volume, doing 2 cars a month now, 2 cars every 2 weeks, whatever it is, he's improving his quality. He's doing more with what he's got going on, right? And then he's like, man, I've got the volume and the quality down. I need to know more people. I'm going to go next door and find out, do they need their cars washed, right? And so in that way, he then starts to really scale his income, right? Instead of a car a week, he could be doing 2 cars a week because the neighbor has a car, the other neighbor has a car, and he rotates all 4 of them. And then the income starts to really exponentially grow. Now, if you're sitting here watching this and you're like, okay, well, how do I apply this? Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. That's what it always comes down to. How do you apply this? If you can't apply this, it's no good, right? So number one, can you do more volume? Now, if you're in an income opportunity that has no volume, you have a limited opportunity, right? You're either being overpaid or underpaid. You're on a fixed wage. You can't do more work. You can't get more volume done. So then you've got to look at your quality, right? Can I do a better quality of work and get promoted maybe, or get into a new echelon of income? And if not, you're at a dead end. You're at a dead end and you need to start working on another income source. So you'd move into network. Who do I know that would better compensate me for my skill set? So this even works when it doesn't work, right? I'm an employee. I can't work more hours. My boss won't give me a pay raise. Cool. You need to go grow your network. You need new people. You need someone that will pay you more, right? Because you can't do it at the place you're at now. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a salesperson, you're a business owner, whatever it might be, and let's say you do have more volume, you can work more hours. You can make more sales. Whatever it might be that you generate your active income with, do that. Increase your hours. Work another 5-10 hours a week. Right? Like if you're not where you want to be, like go through a season. Again, it's not forever. It's a season where you give up some of the stuff that's not going to get you where you want to go, and you reposition those as rewards when you finally get there. Okay, guys, I lived in an apartment in Kansas that was much smaller than I could have afforded. It was much cheaper than I could have afforded. That was probably the lowest, and I'm not saying it was the ghetto. It was just an apartment, nothing special, but it was probably the lowest quality living that I had in the last 5 years as far as amenities and all. So now I've moved because I was able to really put my head down and focus. And I put myself in a position to succeed and turn things around with my financial picture, right? Because again, I was in a rebuild phase. So how quickly can you rebuild? Well, how focused can you be? Maybe you weren't like me and you're not rebuilding and you're just building, okay? How quickly can you build? Well, how focused can you be? Can I cut out the Netflix? Can I cut out the extra nights out? Can I put in another 10, 15 hours a week of work? Can I study and gain more quality and more skill sets? Can I go to events and meet people? right? Can I be out here on social media making videos and content so I can connect with more people and build more influence? Those are the ways that you scale and grow your active income. Back to this triangle of wealth thing. If I earn more, I have a higher ability to save. Talking to one of my clients today that's been a client of mine since 2017 or 18, I think. He is saving 58% of his income. 58%. He was not saving 58% when he met me. He was saving nothing, right? So here's like the thing is we get so polarized with this. Dave Ramsey or Kiyosaki or Grant Cardone, and it's like budget and never spend on anything because you need to live below your means, or you need to act your wage. Well, for me, instead of act your wage, I say grow the hell up. Like grow your wage. Don't act your wage, grow your wage. Now, when you grow your wage, don't overspend it. Like earn a lot of money, save as much of it as possible. This guy's doing 58%. What does that allow you to do? It allows you to invest faster. The very beginning of this video, I talked about the $500 a month and how long it takes for that to build up and for me to get my money back, and it's 100 months, right? Well, don't wait for the $500 a month. Pretend you didn't do it. Because that's the reality. If you're trying to build financial independence through residual income sources like real estate or businesses or whatever it might be, at the beginning, you can pat yourself on the back and be like, good job, I just did my first deal. That's awesome. You have $500 a month. You can't even finance a car with that yet. So you need to do another one and another one and another one and another one. And that's the monetary velocity of going through this triangle. The more I earn, the more I can save. The more I save, the more I can invest. The more I invest, the more I earn. But at the same time, I'm still supplementing the original earn with this bolstering strategy that I'm giving you in this video. Okay, volume, quality, network. Those are the things that are going to grow your income. Those are the things you trade for your money. And then you can trade the money for the sacred account and metals and real estate and seller finance and all this awesome stuff we talk about. But if you're like, I'm too slow, I'm afraid to invest because that's my only $50,000 and I'm not going to see it back for a while, those are signs that you need to bolster your active income. And if you're not gonna, then it's going to take longer, right? And I'm not going to polarize and be like, then you shouldn't do this. This is only for the serious, right? I'm not going to do that either. No, it's just going to take longer, right? It might take you 40 years to get there, but I promise you, you're going to get there if you keep one foot in front of the other. And I also think in 40 years, even if you go at a slow pace like that, you're better off than most people with stocks and retirement accounts. If you've got dozens and dozens of little $500 a month income streams paying you residually every month from smart decisions you made with your investments, you're probably in a better position than someone that's at the whims of the stock market or making 4% in an annuity, whereas all of their money in the bank. That's my opinion. Okay, so I hope this video helped you, and this is for everyone at all levels. The real players who earn active income, they're gonna see this and be like, he's right, and this is what I already do, and I need the reminder, thank you, right? The people who are not serious are gonna watch this and be like, well, I already knew that, right? We also already know you should go to the gym. Do you go every day? Do you? Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how well you know it. That just means you heard it once, right? If you're not doing it and winning with it, there is a disconnect between your knowledge and your doingness, and it's not the same thing. Okay, hope that helps. Like the video, comment below with your questions, your thoughts, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.